Hey you! So today we're going to be talking about the sixth Digimon film, Digimon Adventure Tri number 6, and got a few things to say about it. So this is going to be my review. This is going to contain spoilers. If you've not seen it, then you've not seen it, so therefore this contains spoilers. Before you begin, make sure that you click like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more notifications on videos that are coming out in the future. But with all that said, let's just jump into it and start the review. This is the last Digimon Tri Adventure film, and I have to say this was a bit of a letdown for me. Considering the kind of growth from number 1 to number 6, I feel like it kind of went high and then just kind of dipped down quite low. This is, as I said, this is meant to conclude everything, but when I looked at it, it didn't actually conclude much. Well, to me anyway. Which I was kind of very gutted about. It starts off exactly where we left off. Everyone is wondering what Iridianmon is doing, and they're all kind of shocked that Gotamon and Meikumon are combined together to this creature. They've also kind of wondered about Tai's death as well, and this is very kind of weird, which we'll be talking about much later on. Everyone just kind of just leaves Tai. We've got Kari in kind of distress over the loss of her brother, and everyone then decides she's under Matt's orders and said, hey, let's just get out here. And you kind of think, oh, okay. When they all get back, they're all kind of really moping around a lot. You know, it's the same thing that we've seen for the past probably 4 films, where one of them just doesn't feel right. So then we've got this inner monologue where they just look down or depressed. Things like that didn't need to be put in because of the situation that they're in. Yes, I can see that you've got the whole kind of like, you don't want your Digimon hurt. I can understand that. But there has to be a time when you put all aside those feelings and carry on. We have Genai that's still taking Ken's form, which is weird, and I can't understand why not just make Ken the main bad guy, you know, brainwash him to think that he is the ruler again, or kind of something like that. Then we have the kind of lead up to what I kind of really wanted to know from the very first one, is what happened to the Digidestined in the second lot. So we've got Tai and Mr. Narashima, who is actually in the kind of this facility. They find that the Digidestined have actually been kind of in cryogenics all this time. They don't kind of really briefly talk about it. They just say, oh yeah, we found them. They say that, you know, oh, they've been like that since they came into the digital world. So you kind of think, why? Was it a way to take that power? Was it a way to do something else? Why are they there? It doesn't really say much at all. Or if they did, I completely missed it. Or it was just a really bad throwaway line. Because Mr. Narashima has been hurt, what happens now is the fact that Tai takes over, and they kind of look around the area. Genai pops in and he's like, hey, I'm going to kill you all. I'm going to set this self-destruct. Oh look, there's only one pod for you. Haha. Who's gonna go? And obviously it's gonna be Tai. Tai then gets put in the pod, and Narashima gives his kind of statement and says, like, you know, oh, the girl, I can't remember the girl's name. You know, he understands, like, she wanted to bring back the digital world back with King Drazel, you know, because she wanted her Digimon. And I'm just thinking, oh god, it's a selfish thing that you did this. Back in the real world, we have Iridianmon being attacked by the military. You know, it's time that the humans want to take action, and I'm sure the Digidestined are like, no, don't! Stop, you're hurting my friend! Which is, again, a thing that annoys me quite a bit. So, with this going on, the military don't do any damage at all, so the Digimon step in. You know, they say that they've got to do the right stuff, they have to really kind of go for it, and then they start attacking Iridianmon, which, again, we'll talk about what annoyed me in that as well. So obviously they don't do much damage. You know, they get battered quite a bit. They get kind of knocked down, which again, I generally thought was kind of weird. We have an Hackmon. He joins the party. You know, he says to Mei that, oh, it's not your fault. We kind of used you. You know, we got your Digimon, blah, blah, blah. King Drazel's plan, which, again, another thing that will annoy me. So King Drazel's plan was to have that. And then obviously he disappears for a little bit. As Iridianmon is just trashing everybody, Izzy finds out that Meikumon has been keeping the memories of all the Digidestined, and it's been stored in her. That's the reason why she's so powerful. That's the reason why she was not phased in the reboot. There's all these memories inside her. So Izzy starts kind of like uploading them all back to the Digimon. Everyone's like, oh my god, I remember what's going on. You know, you see kind of flashbacks, you see lots of like pictures of like the Digimon with their partners back then, obviously then in the future, etc, etc. As they're kind of separating, Gotamon's kind of been freed now. We then have Tai, who comes back in the nick of time because the old version of Meicoomon stroke Iridiumon attacks everybody. And what happens? Boom, Tai jumps in and kind of saves the day. As Tai has jumped in before, we find out that King Drazel is putting in all the information, all the bad memories, loads of different things to take over Iridiumon. As Tai has come back, Agumon is really happy to see Tai. So Agumon then digivolves to Greymon, and obviously to War Greymon, fuses with Wergarurumon, and then to make Omnimon. At that point, like, all the Digimon just give their powers and he becomes like his super form. He has all the power of the Digimon within him, thus therefore he gets nice wings and slight changes to his kind of body. This only happens to Mei's Digivice that actually is able to do this. After Iridiumon is defeated, we get some stupid throwaway line from TK saying that they defeated King Drazel, he's no longer there, you know, blah blah blah, and it just infuriates me. Everyone is kind of set for Christmas. They send presents to Mei because she's moved. She didn't stick around much. She just moved out there. And boom, you know, everyone's like ringing on the phone. Tai's like, hi, and then kind of does the silent thing, which just freaking annoys me. It freaking annoys me because it's just like a minute of silence. And it was like, oh, just Tai, stop being a mopey teenager on this and be happy. And then that's the entire kind of film in a nutshell. In a nutshell. Oh. So let's talk about the special features. What do you get? And it's just an anime panel. I think I watched like the first couple of minutes and then kind of went back to the film so I could write this review. But they talk about little things happening on the panel that they did last year to now, etc, etc. Which again, it's nice seeing that. But I think I would have kind of liked more stuff, more behind the scenes. I think that would have been really cool. Let's talk about the animation. The animation was pretty much exactly the same as the previous ones that we've had. It's absolutely fine. I think at times when it was more kind of needed, like they would draw darker lines, thicker lines to emphasize that there is a need for danger, etc, etc. I only kind of really saw that on Agumon when Tai returns. He's running, so I kind of see that they changed it a little bit, but yeah, the animation was exactly the same. Okay, let's talk about the writing. Right, okay, this is where this really got me on a lot of different things. With Tai being taken, the only person that really shows emotion is Kari. That is it. You know, all the others just kind of ditch him and go, oh yeah, he's dead, bye, let's go. And it just seemed completely out of place. I can't remember in the fifth one if you saw a little bit more emotion, but in this one, it felt like they didn't care. Oh, Tai's gone. He's dead. Like, you think that they would be a bit more, oh, he's dead, so we need to mourn him, you know, we need to kind of fight on, not just let's just run, let's not just look for him, because you've got powerful Digimon that could easily break through. You've got Omnimon, I think he's still about for a bit, you know, he could have just plowed down and dug deep down to where they last saw Tai, but it just feels like everybody just disappears and they can't be bothered. This also kind of links in to the very end when Tai actually comes back. Everyone doesn't care. The only person is Agumon, and he jumps on him and hugs him. The rest don't care. You've had Kori kind of being like, oh no, my brother, you know, I couldn't do anything, and sad that Tai has done this. No emotion, just walks up and says, if we kill Meicoomon, then I'm never going to forgive you. I'll fight by your side, but I will never forgive you. And you kind of think there'd be more emotion, not I'm going to shout at you. And all the others just go like, all right, Tai. Rather than have him dead, you should have just had him said in the last one, I'm going to go and find out what's happening, or, oh my god, I'm in my facility, or shout down like, guys. You know, it just feels like he could have gone, yeah, I'll be back later, boys and girls, see you later. I'll catch up with you in the real world. And this really kind of got to me a lot. The kind of moping all the time in this thing really angers me, because you saw so much in the fifth one and it's still about, and I'm just thinking, oh, why? I really want to go back in time to when they're actually doing this and go, guys, just don't bother with the film. Just have the Digimon sit on their laps for about 6 films. And the fact is that they all go, oh my god, I can't save you, or I want to keep you safe. It generally infuriated me because, as I said at the very beginning of the video, you had the first part, which was amazing. The first couple were really in depth and like, oh my god, this is amazing. And then it just went straight downhill when Mei walks in. You know, it's just like, oh my god, I can't believe I did this. oh no, I won't keep my Digimon safe. Just make a whole thing of them sitting on their laps eating food and then just talking about old times. Have a flashback film instead. Oh, it just really, really got to me a lot. The second lot of Digidestined, Davis and all that, I was really annoyed because at the very beginning of the first one, you are shown that these Digidestined have been attacked. They are taken down. So I generally thought that through the entire films, we would see something, but we didn't. It was just, there's a silhouette. They've been in cryogenic stasis for a while. Boom. What? You know, it's like, oh, they're at the hospital now recovering, but they're all okay. I know that even if it was just one of them, Davis would be running to the beach and he would help out. And that would have been a much of a giant plot twist that I wouldn't see coming. Be like, oh my God, this is amazing. But no, it just feels like they had to throw that in. Like you have this entire load of film arc that they just say nothing at all. They don't reference it, par Ken. I just think that it was very lazy writing. And I generally think if you took out that part, and then took out the whole facility, that maybe there was one tube left, and then you Tai and Nirishima had to kind of like judge it. Boom, that would have been better than, oh, here's all the Digidestined. And plus, you could probably get 2 people in that pod anyway, but, you know, he died in the explosion. Oh, okay, and it's just, that whole scene was possibly more emotional than the whole film. It just feels like they had to throw it in there like, oh crap, we forgot about them. They're in there. In the last film, Mai turns around to them and says, if something happens, kill Meikumon. Just end it. End it right there. And everyone just seems to forget about this. Like, oh no, we can't help our friend. And I generally thought that all he wanted to do was stand around and shout at Meikumon or Obsidianmon and just be shouting like, come back to us! Come back to us! Remember who you are! And I generally thought at some point there was going to be some comical poof! And then suddenly, boom! She's, hi guys, I'm back! It's like, no, let's move on. Let's forget the film. Let's go eat. Oh, it just, May said, kill her. And that's what Tai was doing. He was like, we've tried everything else. They all say like this. They go like, oh, we gotta try this, we gotta try that. You tried it. It didn't work. Your whole Digimon got wiped out. Even Izzy says that this is like a new Digimon that's super powerful. Oh, it just feels so kind of, Izzy doesn't, do you know what, this has turned in from a writing to a rant, so I'm going to combine everything together. Izzy turns around and says, hey, like, all the memories gone. So you think that if all those memories were taken out, boom, you would easily be able to put more in there, or kind of put a block over it, you know, put the password that they say, but no. Obviously this had to be the symbol at the end where it just gets it, and Agumon or Omnimon comes along and that's it. A very quick end. I generally thought there'd be a bit more fighting with Omnimon, but no, it's a quick shot, dead, gone. Kind of the only good thing is when Meikumon actually disappears and it's like, bye, actually says goodbye to May. I was like, see you later. And they didn't say, well, she's been brought back in the Digi-Egg. You know, it was you've killed that character. Kudos for killing it, not kind of saying she has to die, she has to be gone, and then she's back like 5 minutes later in a Digi-Egg or something. So for them to do that, that was okay. The line at the very end when TK is writing an email to May, he says, oh yeah, King Drazel's gone, he's been defeated. I generally thought he was going to be the last boss. I generally thought that you could have had half the film where they get completely destroyed, they get Meikumon, they get Garamon back, and then the last half of the film was going to be King Drazel just drops in and he's the last boss. What the hell? What happened to Alphamon as well? I can't remember what happened to Alphamon. That just popped into my head now. But it just felt very lazy, like, oh, we'll just throw away this line just to kind of tie it up. He could have been the next bad guy for the next film. Oh, it just felt very freaking lazy. So let's talk about characters. This video's way too long, so let's try and sum this one up. Everyone is exactly the same. I generally thought that all of them would be more happy to see Tai at the end, because it just generally thought, as I've mentioned before, that it was a, all right, you come back from your mission, you're back. Oh, this really kind of got to me a little bit, and I generally thought that we'd have a better connection with the characters, but it just felt like they were kind of like, oh yeah, Tai, Alright, that's it. There was nothing to this. I generally thought that May would have stayed with them. I generally thought that she would have been in the area rather than disappearing and then being written out completely. Because I guarantee you in the next film, they'll probably reference her, but will never speak about her ever again. And I was very kind of gutted that with all this character development that was focused on her, she didn't really have that much character development. It's like, oh, Makerumon's gone. Alright, bye. Oh, it just kind of really got to me on that one. So what made this interesting for me? There was not a lot. There was only a few things. The first one was the fact is that Biyomon comes in after Sora and Matt talking, and she's like, oh, are you listening to the conversation? Like, you know, oh, is he talking about his music? It doesn't rhyme. That I actually generally laughed at.
What did you do?
Hey, everything's okay.
I know you've been crying. Was he singing one of his songs to you? They're awful and they don't even rhyme.
How would you know?
You sing in your sleep.
Music, I generally thought the music was kind of really, really good. It worked well, and I was more excited about the music at the very end. Some of the kind of like funnier moments that happened, but there weren't that many. To kind of bring it up from the whole depression thing, that was a thing. But to be honest, there was not a lot that made me interested in this. We now have the conclusion. I generally thought, as I've mentioned before, that this ruined the film. It's sort of a huge high point, and then kind of dropped down really dramatically, which kind of made me go, oh, you had an entire film of them moping about. You know, it was the fifth film, and it couldn't have done it. You could have taken most of that out and put in half of this film and then added so much more to it that would have gone, oh my god, this is amazing. The payout is fantastic. But in this it wasn't, and I really, really hated it. I wish it was slightly different. I'm glad that it's over so I can see it and I can be like, wow, that was okay. But this didn't remind me of Digimon from when I was younger. Even from Digimon to Digimon Season 2 to Tamers and even to Frontier. Again, I'm not a big fan of Frontier. But it didn't feel like Digimon. It just felt like a generic film with partners that halfway through every single anime character just again gets really down in the dumps, and I just thought, it felt like the digidestined didn't do anything. And you know, either if they didn't have them on their lap, cuddling them, making sure that it was safe, even when the Digimon were like, we've got to fight, it was digidestined going, no. I don't know if that is a general thing of growing up to when you're a kid, it's like, yeah, we've got to defeat them, to I have to keep you safe. And it played on me a lot, and I was just like, this could have been so much better. There was way too many Digivolve animations. It felt like if you took these out, or you could have made them quick, like, you know, orb around them and then they transform. You could have had, Biyomon digivolves to this, you know, Patamon digivolves to Angemon, boom, you could have done it really quickly. But it felt like at any chance when they're like, yeah, we got to do it, it was lazy putting into this animation, you know, especially at the very end when Agumon transforms into Greymon and then goes straight to War Greymon. We've already seen that there is a quick animation of where Agumon can go boom, 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 rather than, oh, I have to digivolve and then I have to digivolve again. It's like, you've done this in the past, and I don't see why this could be so hard to do again. I think that they knew that there was not enough time for this, or the film needed a bit padding out, so that's the reason why they put it in there. It just felt really kind of meh, and it just, the animation is really decent and beautiful. But when you have it so often, it's, well, okay, cool, can we just get past this? Can I skip this a little bit by a few minutes or whatever, or by a few seconds? I feel there was some character development, but not in the right way. You have, from the very beginning of Digimon, you know, the first season when they're kids, to having like the building all the confidence, you know, they're finding themselves. And then all of a sudden in this one, it was revert back. You know, the very most cheerful one was Mimi. She was ridiculously cheerful at the beginning. But again, like, you didn't see this. So I don't know if it was the circumstance that the characters were in, or if this was just, we'll just dumb this whole thing down again. You know, there was touching moments from when Gobamon was talking to Matt, you know, giving him like a confidence boost, but it felt like all this was just taken away and just wasn't a thing. I found like the conclusion at the very end was very quick. It didn't tell me much. It was very, oh crap, we're out of time, let's just end this really quickly. Because I generally thought that if you've got this almighty powerful Digimon that no one's seen but can destroy things, that can summon other Digimon, even after the fight where all of them have had problems fighting and getting beaten, compared to this now, it's like, oh well, Omnimon's come in, whoom, gone. That to me felt really kind of bad, and I was like, oh, I'm kind of bored of this already. It just feels like they were, oh, save time quickly. No, let's not have a drawn out fight where you could have had another maybe 5-10 minutes for this. There were points where there were jokes in there that made me laugh. There were points where it just made me go, and more, than, haha. And I found this like quite a huge letdown. In conclusion to this, I generally think the film needed more time. I think that it was very badly written at the end. I could generally skip this, or the end of the film could be much later on. I also think that you don't need 6 whole films to tell this story. After looking back at all of them, I generally think you could have told it in 3 to 4 films. I don't think it needed 6 because most of it could be taken out and you'd be fine with it. I think that they tried to make it that long, but in general, I think most of it failed at the end. I'm not going to say it all has bad points. It has some good points, but the bad kind of outweigh the good on this one. So would I recommend this? I would recommend this if you've collected all the others. If you're just kind of wanting something to watch, this is one that I would have to say, watch the first couple. You'll be much more interested in this one compared to the ending. There is a collection, I think, a big box set coming out with all of it. So yeah, I would probably get that because the story is good. It just drops dramatically at the very end. So yeah, that's been my kind of thoughts and comments on it. I'm glad that I've actually seen all of this now. I'm happy that it's been released properly. So Rangers, what are your thoughts on this? What do you think about this? Do you think I'm right? Do you think I'm wrong? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Let me know down below in those comments. And if you've liked this video, like, favorite, comment, and consider subscribing. Check the notification bell so you know that there's a new video coming. Why not check out all the other videos on the channel? And as always, Rangers, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in a bit.